Welcome back to Legacy Labs. Today we're going to talk about team alignment, more specifically why a team can agree in a meeting and still fail to execute after the meeting. That is the problem. So everybody always says yes, everyone understands the goal. The meeting feels productive, but then a week later, the same issue is still sitting right there. That usually means that the problem isn't alignment, it's usually an execution structure. So agreement happens in language, execution happens through structure. So achievement agrees, structure achieves. So the surface problem. Here's what the problem usually looks like. So the team meets, the issue gets discussed, people agree on the direction. Everyone says that they're aligned, but then the meeting ends and nothing changes. There's no clear owner, there's no visible movement, there's no follow through, there's no real shift at work. The problem is the problem just stays there. The team is talking like it moved, but the system did not move. So what teams usually try to do, so they'll try to fix this by more meetings, more reminders, more updates, more emails, more alignment calls, more trackers, all these kinds of things. So sometimes they do help, but a lot of times they do not help. So those things, if the structure is missing, more communication isn't going to solve the problem. It's just going to create more places that the confusion can repeat. Um, the question is not only did we talk about it, the question is did the conversation become a structure that the team can act on. So the structural break. The structural break is simple. Alignment is not execution. Agreement is not movement. A decision is not real until the system knows how it moves. That means the team needs more than a shared opinion. It needs an owner. It needs a next action. It needs a timeline. It needs a rhythm for follow up. It needs a memory system so that the decision does not disappear after the meeting. Without all that, the team may feel aligned in the room, but nothing carries into the workflow. And that's where the execution breaks. So here's a simple example. So let's imagine we have a team called Horizon Company. They want to improve customer onboarding because new customers keep getting confused after sign up. The team has a meeting. Everyone agrees onboarding needs to improve. Someone says, we need a better onboarding experience. Someone else says, customer success, product, and marketing should work together on this. Then the meeting ends. We'll circle back next week. That sounds aligned, but structurally nothing happens. So who owns the first move? What exactly is changing? What is the first action? What does the product need to do? What does customer success need to provide? What does marketing need to rewrite? What's the next checkpoint? How will the team know movement happen? If those questions aren't answered, the team has not executed anything. They agreed, but they haven't achieved anything. Agreement by itself does not move a system. So the narrative architecture read. So from a narrative architecture perspective, we start with the pulse. What is the team trying to carry together? In this example, the pulse is we need customers to understand onboarding clearly enough to move without confusion. That's the real signal, not just improve onboarding. The deeper goal is customer clarity. The pressure. That's what tests the team after the meeting. So regular work, competing priorities, time, unclear roles, different departments, old habits. The pressure starts after everybody leaves the meeting. That is when alignment gets tested. Inheritance. So it's what we carry forward. What does this team? What is the team already carrying? Maybe they have history of talking through problems that don't assign any ownership. Maybe past projects have stalled. Maybe departments are used to protecting their own lanes. Maybe nobody wants to be the person to force the next move. All those things matter because a team does not enter a new decision clean. It carries the old patterns. So the motif. So what keeps repeating? Maybe the team keeps saying we need to align. We should circle back. Let's keep this moving. We need cross-functional collaboration. Those phrases all sound productive, but if they keep returning without movement, they just become motifs and they reveal the structure break. So memory. What does the team actually remember after the meeting? Not what was said, what was captured, what was assigned, tracked, what actually became real. If the team forgets the decision right after the meeting ends, then the meeting did not create operational memory. It just created temporary agreement. And then the rhythm. How does the decision move over time? Meeting, owner, action, checkpoint, update, adjust, next move. That's rhythm. If the rhythm is missing, the decision just sits there. So the diagnostic is this. The team may be aligned verbally, but the system has not converted agreement into execution. So I like the phrase alignment agrees, structure achieves. If you guys remember anything, just remember that. So better questions, right? So in narrative architecture, we ask different questions. Instead of asking, "Are we aligned?" we're going to ask, "Who owns the next move? What exactly changes after this meeting? What decision was actually made? What is the first visible action? When will we check progress? What pressure could block this? What memory system will keep it from disappearing? What happens if nobody moves this?" So those are better questions because they force the team to actually move from agreement into structure. So the strategy shift. So this is the strategy shift. Um, Simple. We're going to stop treating alignment as agreement, and we're going to start treating alignment as execution. We're going to define the owner, define the next action, define the follow up rhythm, define what will prove movement happen, and that one matters. That one matters the most. A meeting should not end with everybody feeling good. It should end with the system knowing exactly what moves next. A team does not execute because everyone agrees. A team executes when agreement becomes structure. You guys can take a look at the applications, narrative architecture applications article I wrote on this. I'll link it in the comments, or I'll link it in the description. But there is a narrative architecture applications guide. This is the free guide. You guys can check it out. If you're having any of these organizational issues in your workplace or your company or wherever, you can check that out. Check this out. This one's free. I also have the strategy guide in the paid section. So you guys check that out. And yeah, I'm super excited to do these videos. I think we're getting this out there the proper way. Um, the next video will be out soon. If you guys are interested in seeing where structure breaks, if you're interested in narrative design, emotional engineering, cultural memory, definitely check out the Legacy Lab Substack and the other videos. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Deuces.